Hey everyone. Well, we're coming up to the end of the year and something kind of came to my mind is that we're going to get to a point in the next few weeks, particularly around New Year's Eve and around early January, where we start seeing content from people talking about how great 2025 was and I smashed goals and, did all of this cool stuff. And sometimes that can make you feel rubbish, particularly if you didn't smash goals. If the year that we're talking about didn't go according to plan, maybe someone in your life has passed away, maybe something really bad has happened to you. And I think when you get to the end of the year and you do see all this stuff on social media, it's not that it shouldn't be there and it's not that people can't share their their achievements, not at all, but it can make you feel rubbish. And I thought that I would come on here and have an honest heart-to-heart with you about how this year has been for me. Because it's not been so great, actually. There's bits of it that I'm very blessed for, that I'm really grateful for, but actually for the most part, it's not been a good year. So if I rewind you all the way back to January 2025, for me, years that have a 5 in them tend to be big years. They tend to be years that are about change, about things moving quite quickly, and normally they're about, years where you start achieving goals, etc. I don't know why, I just feel that. Well, I started a gratitude journal in January, and anyone can do it. I just got a really nice notebook, and I try and do it every day, but I write down something good that happens every day. And I feel like doing that has really helped to slow the year down. If you're someone who feels like the months and the years fly by, I always felt like that, but I personally feel like this year, since having this gratitude journal and writing something down every day throughout the year, has made me enjoy the day more, and has made the months last longer, and has meant that I enjoyed spring, I enjoyed summer. They weren't just a blur that flew past. And some of the things that I'm really grateful for, first of all, nothing died. Okay, 2023 was a bad year for me. We lost our pet, one of our pets, and it was just awful. And it happened, was it 2020? I think it was 2023. It happened when we went on holiday, and so it ruined the whole holiday, and we had like days left until we could get home, and all we wanted to do was go home, and it was just miserable, and it ruined the trip. And out of all of the days in the year it could have happened, it had to happen within that one blooming week. So I give thanks that this year nothing catastrophic has happened, but that's definitely one good thing. The other great thing is that obviously we got Louis, our puppy. That was something we didn't plan for, and I just got to a point in June where I said to David, I was on Instagram and a Pomeranian puppy was on there, and I was looking at it and I thought it was so cute. And we go for lots of long walks. And I said to David, wouldn't it be so nice to have a dog that we could go on the walks with? So we just off the cuff decided to get him. And he's still really young, so actually we haven't been doing our very long walks anymore because he can handle a 10-minute trip around the block. He can't really do anything longer, which we know. And when he gets a little bit older, he will be able to do a little bit more, but he's a small dog. He's never going to have it in him to do we literally were doing 4-hour walks before. He's never going to be able to do that. So I should have thought of that a little bit more, shouldn't I? But that was another good thing. Another great thing is that this year, in fact, in November, we retired. We, over the years, have been gradually scaling down our work. And then in November, our final few projects were delivered. And that's been a really great thing because some not so great stuff that I'm going to come on to kind of crept in back in July through to now and into the present. And I think if I had work that I still had to do, I'd have really struggled with it. What other good things have happened? I'm trying to think here. The other great thing is that I've gotten to do social media. I've gotten to work with some really fun brands this year, brands I never thought I'd see that coming with. and I've worked with them, and it's been really good fun. So I've really enjoyed that. But let's talk about the things that haven't been so great, because I do feel like social media is about putting your best face forward. It's about shouting from the rooftops, oh my God, I got a new car, I bought a new house, I did something massive, and my life is like better than yours. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying that's the case for everyone, but I think when it's kind of rubbed in your face, you know, like I'll be scrolling through Instagram and I'll see a post from someone I don't follow and it will just come up because it's like trending or whatever. And it's kind of like all this amazing stuff they've achieved. And you're sat there being like, I don't feel like I've ticked any of those boxes, and it's really depressing. So one of the big things that's put like a massive dampener on this year, and I've spoken to you loads about it, but for any of you who don't know, so back in June, I discovered this angry looking mole on the back of my heel my ankle that I hadn't seen before. And I only noticed it because I bought this fragranced body cream from Amazon that I was using, and it gave me eczema. And one evening I had really bad eczema on this particular patch of my leg, and I was scratching and scratching, and then I noticed on my hand there was blood, and I was like, oh my God, like I've been scratching too hard. And it felt like a mosquito bite, to be honest. Anyway, I have a look, and it's this huge mole, and it's like crusty, it's dry looking, it's bleeding, and I panicked. And I ended up seeing 4 different doctors, dermatologists, and every single one of, I don't know why it took so long, but every single one of them was like, it needs to be removed, but I want to refer you to someone more senior than me to get another opinion. And in the end, they just removed it in October. And I feel like it's made the year miserable, and I'm trying not to let it, because it could have been so much worse. Like, it could actually have been cancer. It turns out what it is, it's a type of mole that was weeks away from turning into melanoma. But the reason why I think it's made me depressed is, first of all, the NHS have really put the fear of God into me, because they're like, this is what it was. Apparently, according to them, is like quite serious. I've got to have a second operation in December to remove more tissue from around where it was, because they need margins. The NHS are like, if there's any cells left, it's going to be changing at the same rapid speed as the actual mole was in the first place. So, and I really don't want another operation, because the first one was really horrible and the healing was not fun. And you got stitches in for 14 days, and the stitches start to pull, and they're sore, and then they get itchy, and it's just horrible. And you can't take a shower. I was literally taking a shower. Guys, you're in the shower and you've got your leg out of the shower, like held up out of the shower. My core stomach muscles were like working overtime. It's just not fun. And I feel like one thing that I wrote in my gratitude journal at the beginning of the year, so I always do this, I write for the year all the things I want to achieve. And guys, I'm going to be straight up with you. I have achieved not one of them. Apart from the retirement, I have achieved not one single goal on that list. And one of the goals on that list was good health. And to me, yes, although this could have actually turned into cancer, and I get that, and I'm blessed for that it hadn't. To me, this has put a cloud over my year. God willing, I don't get things wrong with me. I don't get illnesses. I haven't had a cold since 2020. It's been like five years or something crazy. I don't get illnesses. So for me to have gotten this has been a massive wake-up call, a massive shock. I am taking everything a lot more seriously now, and I'm a lot more aware of my health. So that's one big thing. The other thing is I had loads of like personal kind of plans and big goals, and I know that they were big. I realised they were big, but the way I saw it in January is they were big, but they weren't impossible. And they were private goals, so I'm not going to go into it, but I achieved none of them. Not one single one. The other thing that I wanted to achieve this year is that by Christmas this year, I wanted to be in a new house. Didn't happen. that's kind of our own fault. Okay, so we obviously, we've been number one priority is retirement. So we were focused on getting all of our work done ASAP. And we have taken time over the year to like look every so often, but there's never been anything right for us. And now that we're retired, we're looking again. And in the area we want to move to, there are 2 houses and they both need so much work doing. And for bearing in mind the amount of work they need doing, they're really expensive for what they are. House prices right now are actually a joke. I mean, if you need the kitchen and every bathroom redoing, don't put it up for what you're going to put it up for. Like, have a think about it. And for that reason, they've actually been online for months. They're not selling. And I'm like, it's because you want too much money for the condition of the house. So that's another thing. Like, I had those big goals to be in the new house by Christmas. That hasn't happened. Our own fault. I get that. We haven't actively been looking. But whenever we have been looking, the right thing hasn't come up. And so I don't wish that for this video to be depressing. I realise it probably is. But I thought that I would share this because it's like, to me, I just wanted to be honest and I just wanted to be raw. But for those of you who have also had a year that's not been ideal, you're going to start seeing the posts coming up in the next few weeks of people being like, oh my God, I've had the best year in the whole world and look what I've achieved and look what I got. And you might, don't let that content make you feel rubbish. Don't let it. Keep scrolling, move on past it. Don't read it. Like, if you've had an awful year, like mine could have been worse. I'm not wishing to like massively complain. It could have been so much worse. Like this thing on my ankle could have actually have turned into cancer. I'm just paranoid that I've got something left and it's on the turn because that's what they told me. So for me, until I have the final operation and I get the final results back, I cannot sleep at night. Like that's how I feel. And so, as I say, if you start seeing content later this year and it's kind of like, you know, look at me, I've smashed every goal I set myself, don't feel rubbish. People always put the best face forward or the best foot forward or whatever you say. People always show the best on social media. I don't feel like anyone really talks about the things that went wrong. I don't really feel like people go, do you know what? This happened and it really upset me and it ruined the year, or people just don't do it. And that's nothing personal. That's called social media. And that's one thing I don't like about social media is like my really big goals, my massive goals, I would never put that on the internet. They're private. Like, I don't feel the need to like rub it in people's faces. It's not that I've achieved anything this year, but I just wouldn't do it. I'm more, I don't know. As I say, I just wanted to come on here and give you like the raw, unedited truth of it, really. Can you let me know in the comments, how's your year been? Has it been really good for you? I actually hope that if you're watching this, that you can watch this and go, I'm lucky I had a great year. That's what I really want for you. I really want that for you. But if you are someone watching and you've been through stuff this year, probably stuff bigger than the rubbish that I've been through, I hope that you're okay and you're not alone. Like, I feel a bit rubbish about this year as well. And hopefully 2026 will be better. Like, I really hope it's going to be better. Don't you just hope it's going to be better? Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I hope this hasn't been miserable. I just thought I would like pull my heart out a little bit. I hope that you've enjoyed this and I'll see you in the next one.